Have you ever wondered if today were your last? Would you be proud of the way you lived? How many times have you chosen comfort only to end up with a heavy heart full of regret? And what if there was a way to break free from the cycle of delay and truly live? Would you dare to? Take it now. Most people will die the same way they lived, with excuses on their lips and regrets in their hearts. They'll lie on their deathbeds, haunted by the chances they didn't take, the dreams they let rot, the better version of themselves they betrayed every single day by choosing comfort over greatness. But you're different, aren't you? You're not here for ease. You want clarity. You don't crave comfort. You seek strength. You don't want to drown in chaos and noise. You want freedom. So let's not waste time. Here are 12 brutal Stoic decisions that, if you commit to starting right now, will strip away your softness, cut through confusion, and burn away fear, leaving behind a self forged by fire. These are not tips, not hacks. They are choices, tough and uncomfortable, and they divide the warriors from the spectators. 1. Don't wait. Choose to act today. Seneca said, "While we wait for life, life passes." Procrastination isn't delay, it's slow death. Every time you say tomorrow, a part of you decays. Every dream you postpone is betrayal to your future self. Most people stand at the edge of their own lives like tourists looking around, waiting for the perfect moment to act. But that moment never comes. Seneca also said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." The action you fear is never as painful as the regret of not doing it. You only get one life and much of it is already gone. If you really grasp that truth, what would you do today? The Stoic doesn't wait for motivation. He acts before he's ready because he knows movement creates momentum. Start. Send the message. Take the risk. Burn your excuses. To embrace discipline as a way of life. Discipline isn't punishment, it's freedom wrapped in fire. In a world of weak men chasing comfort and cheap dopamine, discipline is rebellion. It's the blade that slices through laziness, anxiety, and mediocrity. You rise early not to boast but to train your will. You say no to distractions not because you're a saint but because you're hungry. You eat clean, train, build habits not for trends but because it works. Stoics weren't soft philosophers sipping tea, they were warriors. Marcus Aurelius ruled Rome and wrote Meditations by night. Coe walked barefoot through snow to toughen his mind. Discipline isn't for the strong, it's for the willing. If you don't master your mind, the world will. 3. Focus on what truly matters. Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." The world is drowning in noise and most people drink it like fine wine. They chase status, followers, trends, forgetting none of it will matter when they're dust. The Stoic is surgical with his attention. He slices away the unnecessary, like a blade cutting fat from meat. So, what really matters to you? Your health, your craft, your peace. Focus there. And now, if you feel a fire building inside, don't stop here. You've learned to act without waiting, build discipline and focus on what matters. But now, to stay on the path, you must learn to protect your mind from what quietly eats away at it every single day. 4. Ignore the rest. Don't just simplify your schedule, simplify your soul. Every yes to something shallow is a no to something sacred. You don't have time to care about everything. So choose wisely or life will choose for you. Every notification, every meaningless invite, every bit of gossip is a pinhole in your mental clarity. Focus on less but go deeper. Choose what truly deserves your attention. 5. Disconnect from the news. Seneca said, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." Let's be honest, modern news isn't information, it's manipulation. Fear packaged as urgency. Chaos disguised as relevance. Every headline is designed to trigger you to steal your focus and weaken your spirit. But the Stoic refuses to be pulled like a puppet by every breaking story. Because while the world panics over what it can't control, the Stoic focuses on his circle of influence, his thoughts, his habits, his actions. You can't control world events, but you can rule your own empire, your body, your mind, your relationships. You can build peace in a world addicted to outrage, but only if you unplug, kill the noise, and return to yourself. 6. Refuse to lower your standards. The moment you compromise, You invite weakness into your life like a parasite. One missed workout becomes a habit. One lie becomes a pattern. One toxic relationship becomes your new normal. The Stoics believed in excellence not as a buzzword, but as a duty. You are what you tolerate. If you tolerate disrespect, you become someone easy to disrespect. If you tolerate laziness, you become lazy. If you accept mediocrity, don't be shocked when your life is forgettable. Set your standards like a blade, sharp, clear, and non-negotiable. People will call you harsh. They'll say, "You've changed." Let them. You're not here to be liked. You're here to become unrecognizable. 7. Shift your perspective to opportunity. Here's a brutal truth. Most people are trained to see problems, not possibilities. Every situation is a reason to complain. Every challenge is an excuse. They walk through life like victims of a script they didn't write. But the Stoic rewrites the script. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, obstacle is fuel. You lost your job? Good. Now you're free to build something real. You got rejected? Good. Now you know where to improve. You're broke? Good. Now you'll learn hunger, and hunger makes gods of men. The Stoic looks at every challenge and asks, "What is this here to teach me?" Because once you realize that life is always working for you even when it burns, you become unbreakable. You've made it this far, and that alone puts you in the top 5%, because most quit before their second breath. But not you. You're still here. And that tells me one thing: you're not like the rest. The first 6 choices were the foundation, but the next 6, they're the refinement. They sculpt the mind, sharpen the soul, and burn away the weakness most men drag through life like a corpse. You've built your foundation. You've faced discomfort. Now it's time to strip away what's numbing your spirit and return to what truly makes you feel alive. 7. Leave the indoors behind. The body begins to decay inside. You weren't made to spend your life under fluorescent lights, scrolling endlessly. You were built to move, to sweat, to walk through forests, to stand in the rain, to feel the wind rip across your skin. You were built to feel alive. Seneca warned that luxury softens the soul. What's softer than a man glued to a couch? Neck bent, eyes lifeless. Every moment spent indoors is a trade comfort exchanged for vitality. The Stoics believed nature was the greatest teacher. Epictetus walked daily. Marcus Aurelius observed nature to calm his mind. Even the Spartans trained. Outdoors, barefoot, stripped of comfort, want to level up, touch the earth, walk in silence, sweat in the sun. Let discomfort remind you of who you were before the screens. 8. Stay balanced in all situations. Let the world scream, panic, and burn. You stay unmoved. That is Stoicism, not coldness control. When chaos arrives, and it will, you don't flinch, because you've trained yourself to separate what you feel from how you act. Your partner cheats, your boss explodes, the market crashes, the weak lash out. The Stoic breathes. He feels the fire, but he doesn't become it, because he understands true power lies in inner stability. The storm outside doesn't matter when your spine is made of stone. You don't let emotions hijack your life. You ride them like waves. Observe, adapt, act with clarity. That's not just strength. That's mastery. 9. Look at the bigger picture. You failed. You lost. You're tired. You feel stuck. Zoom out. Most people stare at their life like it's a pixel and wonder why they're miserable. The Stoic steps back and sees the full canvas. This moment is not your life. It's just a page. Epictetus was born a slave, beaten, mistreated. He could have crumbled, but he saw something greater than pain. He saw purpose. He built a philosophy from suffering and helped millions after him do the same. You must do the same. Ask yourself, will this matter in 1 year? 5. On my deathbed? If no, let it go. If yes, face it with fire. Because life isn't about what happens to you. It's about how you frame it. 10. Close chapters well. Don't just let things end. Finish them with honor. Most people drag the ghosts of old relationships, jobs, and failures like rusted chains. They never truly say goodbye. They never let go. The Stoic doesn't cling, he chooses closure. When something ends, he reflects, learns, gives thanks silently and moves on. You can't begin a new chapter if you're still bleeding from the last one. Burn the letter. Make peace with the past. Close the door not with hatred but with clarity. Some people and chapters are meant to shape you, not stay with you. 11. Spend time with a good book. You want to sit with greatness? Open a book. After learning to close chapters with clarity. It's time to nourish your inner world not with promises, but with living wisdom. Because what you feed your mind will either sharpen you or slowly dull your edge. 12. Build your mind. Like a warrior builds his body. Read daily. Marcus Aurelius read Epictetus. Epictetus learned from Socrates. Seneca wrote letters that shaped entire nations. So ask yourself, what are you feeding your mind? Endless content, mindless debates, or timeless wisdom? A book is more than ink and paper. It's time travel. It's a conversation with the dead. It's a weapon that turns boys into thinkers, victims into warriors, and slaves into emperors. You're not bored, you're undeafed. The right book at the right time can reprogram your soul, but only if you open at. 13. Let kindness guide your actions. This is where most people get Stoicism wrong. They think it's cold, ruthless, emotionless. But if you read the texts and study the lives of the Stoics, you'll see Stoicism is strength in service of compassion. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." That means kindness, not weakness. Compassion, not passivity. The Stoic helps the old man cross the street not for validation, but because it's right. He speaks the truth but with grace. He leads but without arrogance. He protects others not to be seen, but because it's his nature. The modern world is cruel, selfish, bitter. Kindness is your rebellion. Be a blade in the dark, sharp, but guided by light. And now you hold in your hands 12 choices. Not theories, not vague ideas. Choices. Each one is a fork in the road. Each one demands sacrifice, pain, effort, and discipline. And that's why 99% of people won't do it. But if you do, if you truly commit, not just for a day, but for a lifetime, you will become someone the world cannot touch. A modern Stoic, a calm force in a chaotic age, a man of character, clarity, and power. So the only question left is, who are you becoming? Because in the end, you won't be remembered for your intentions, only for your decisions. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, let me know by commenting Stoic below. And if you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.